Okay, and that was Harry James and his orchestra. Let's give him a big hand. Okay, you guys remember yesterday I mentioned Chen Shang, and we were talking about how much he's in the trunk of his body. So I'm going to play you the video I was talking about. It's literally only about 1 minute long. Well, it's longer than that, but we'll just watch one minute of it or so. And again, this is not to say you should do it like him. It's just to be inspired about being inside your body. Take into account that when Shen Shang began Tai Chi with Master Feng, he was already an accomplished martial artist. He was an expert in Mongolian wrestling. During the Cultural Revolution, he was, as millions of young people were, he was separated from his family and sent to Mongolia. And the only thing there was to do in Mongolia for a young man was wrestling. So he became a Mongolian wrestler. When he moved back, when the Cultural Revolution was over, and he moved back with his family in Beijing, he started studying Baji. Baji is called the Emperor's martial art because that was what the Emperor's guard was taught to defend the Emperor. So he was very, very accomplished. And if you've ever done any wrestling or seen any real wrestling, right, it's about your core. It's about that center line in the core and using the body. You don't move like this. You move like this. All right. You use the body weight to do whatever you want to do. So let's watch him. He is he's a little older than this now. He came to visit us a couple of years ago and did a workshop in the studio. But this will give you the idea. I'm not going to turn the sound on. So this is a demo in China. Watch his belly. Okay, once more from the beginning. You should always listen to every poem twice. Okay, I could watch him all morning, but I mean, look at that curve on his back. I think the real value in watching him is he is so fluid in his center line, in his trunk, that he makes you forget about his hands, and you watch his core, or at least that's what I'm doing. I hope that's what you're doing too, right?
And that's true.
And that's what Tai Chi is. If you had to put it into a nutshell, it's very simple. It's moving from the center. All this stuff, all the hand stuff, that's not really very important. What's important is moving from the center. It's important for a lot of reasons. It's important from the martial point of view. What he's doing from the martial point of view is taking full advantage of his body's potential leverage over someone else. That's why all that stuff works in the martial arts. Now, he's exceptional, but there are other folks who do like that. Not quite like him, but from the center like that. Master Feng was very different. Master Feng did not do any of that. Right? He was just very right. You just went flying. And what he would say is, if I don't show you, you won't see it. It's so deeply integrated into his being that he could just think it and basically it was happening. So, and you've seen Chen Shang doing some of that. Did he do it like that when he was here?
No.
No.
He had moved on.
25 years later, he had moved on. Yeah. He was much more like Master Feng. It was much quieter, right? But that only worked because he had integrated everything into his body. And so instead of making a big movement, he was able to make a very small movement and achieve just as much. Master Feng practically didn't even make any movements, and he was able to do it. Right? But for us mere mortals, the real point of this, honestly, I cannot emphasize this enough, is to find your center. You can say, well, you're talking about physical, so I know where it is, it's right here. Yeah, I know you know where it is intellectually, but there's a big difference between that and truly becoming one with that and moving from that spot. The point is not to become a martial artist. We'll all do that next time around. Next time around, we'll all start at age 4 or 5 and we'll all become martial artists, right? The point of finding your physical center is it's also your energetic center. Right? It's also, believe it or not, your mental center. It's also your spiritual center. It's your center of all your different bodies. If you center yourself, you can ground yourself. If you ground yourself, you can be your authentic self rather than all the influence that we have from the outside world, if that makes any sense. This is a process of becoming yourself. Let's do the first move. Try it, just to try it. Try it like Chen Shang did it, as much as you can remember. So the thing that comes to my mind is my teacher's phrase, ocean wave, ocean wave. Rudy, Tai Chi is ocean wave. It's not a lake. It's not a static lake. It's the ocean, right? It's the water, right? Coming in, going out. Now, as Catherine said yesterday, you have to conquer the technical part of this. Just as if you were going to become a musician, become a pianist or a guitarist or anything. You have to spend years working on the technique for playing the instrument. The only difference between a musician and a Tai Chi player is your body's the instrument. And you'd think, well, it's my body. I should just be able to move it. Well, of course you can. But this is a very particular idiom. It's a very particular way of moving. And it takes a long time to conquer the science part of this. Then you can go do anything you want. All right. Let's do one more. All right. This time, don't do it like Chen Shan. Don't try to copy him. Just do it the way you would do it. But watch yourself as you're doing it. Just watch yourself. Okay, what did you notice about yourself this time?
I really just focused on moving from the center, whatever that meant.
How was it? How did the first one we did affect this one? When we quote unquote copied Chen Shan.
Well, I exaggerated it that time,
right?
But I didn't quote exaggerate it this time. But I really tried to not focus on my hands, arms, and
Good.
really just focus on moving
the belly.
Moving the belly.
Yeah.
And then letting the arms and hands ride on that wave that was created.
Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what one should do, right? And you know, the word focus on the belly. In one way, that's technically true. You are focusing on the Dan Qian. In another way, that's an algorithm. It's not just the belly you're focusing on, it's the whole center line, right? But the whole idea of just being centered. Robin, what about you? What did you find the second time?
Sorry, my mouse is missing. It gave me permission, I guess, to explore, and it felt more free than before.
Yes, yeah. That's what I was saying yesterday. When you're learning in the class, it somewhat gets reduced from analog to digital. And the truth is, it's not digital, it's analog. That, you know what analog is? Analog is continuous movement. Digital is broken up movement, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, in order to do the training, particularly at the beginning, the first couple of years, it really helps to break it down into digital. 1, 2, 3, 4. You go here and then you do this. But that's not really what it is. So it's a little bit like, you know, when you start piano, you know, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you do your finger exercises, and then you do this, and then you do that. It feels a little mechanical, but it's in service to something that you're going to develop into, and that's not mechanical. It's very organic, right? So Annie and I were listening to Marta Argerich yesterday playing, I can't remember what she was playing, some concerto. I don't know, it was Tchaikovsky. No, it was Chopin, right? Wow, she's almost 80 years old, and she's amazing.
She's
What an
amazing.
amazing woman.
Yeah. She's got muscle.
She's got an arm as strong as mine. Seriously.
You look at her hands, you can tell she's 80 years old. She's got 80, but she flies.
She's
and
as
she knows all
fluid.
these from heart. There is no music in front of her.
Yeah,
she's humming the whole thing.
She's humming as she's doing it, and she's looking up and smiling at the
She's 80 years
conductor.
old. She's got salt and pepper hair down to here, low cut dress with necklaces to emphasize her décolletage. That woman is still getting
that woman is all there.
Yes.
She's
alive.
80 years old, but she is alive.
She is alive.
How did we get on to Marta? I can't even remember what I was saying, but that's where you want to go. But in order to get there, you've got to do the work, right? What's that phrase? I don't remember. Something about you got to work hard if you want to sing the blues, right? What is that phrase?
You got to pay your dues.
You got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues if you want to sing the blues, right? If you want to be an artist, you got to pay your dues, and right, this class where we go 1, 2, 3, 4, that's paying your dues. And you pay them, if you want to get really good at this, you got to pay them for years, right? But it's also a lot of fun, or at least I hope it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for me. Let's go on to the second move. Remember yesterday we said the second move starts with the china, and you wrap your leg around the person so that you could push them over that way. You don't, but you could. And you should know that. Think about this. Think about what a pianist must be thinking about when she's playing the piano. She's not just thinking 1, 2, 3, 4 about the keys.
She's not thinking.
She's probably not, well, no, she's not thinking in the normal way at all.
It's body memory.
That's the memory of the sequence. But what must be going on in a real musician's mind is looking at possibilities, how they can express themselves, or how they can express what they think the composer might have been feeling, or what they're feeling, right? And it's a process, it's a creative process. It's a process of discovery. It's not like doing the thing that you've always known. It's about, every time you do it, it's about discovering new aspects of it that you didn't even see before, right? This is something like that. We don't actually do it, but you might do it in your head. In your head, you might do that, but you don't do it in the physical body. Right? Instead, you push this direction. So there's two functions there. The second one is expressed. The first one is not expressed. But the fact that you know that it's there changes your energy. It changes what's happening inside. It fills up what's happening inside. All right? If I'm just thinking, oh, this is just one thing, boom, and I do that, that's one thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right? But if I go like this, and I know that I might be going like that, different. Right? It's a little different. Maybe there's a moment almost, not a pause, almost a little hesitation that's there because you might be going in that direction. Boom. So up here, pause, and then you just elide and go on to the next thing. This form is the simplest. Well, it's not the simplest. There are simpler forms in our curriculum. But it's a very simple form. But there are many, 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 many places like what I just described in this form, where you could do something, but you don't. The more of those you know, the richer the field of your own experience, and the richer your experience of doing the form will be. Okay? So the first thing, wrap. Second, push. All right, now look at the push. Right over the knee. All right? My hand is right over my knee. So my arm is right over my thigh. The second hand is right by it's actually on my chest. It's on my breast. So if you look at my hands, right, they make like a cup. Now, the stance here is a right forward horse stance. You notice it's not like this. It's like this. Both knees are bent and opened outward, and I'm, you could say, sitting on my right hand. Boom. Boom. Right? Now, it doesn't have to be real low, but it should be structured like that. This stance, watch, it opens the pelvis, and it makes it possible for you to express your core energy. Boom. The next part we got into yesterday is a circle with, it's a hybrid circle with two energies in it, ping and shu. A ping circle is like this. A shu circle is like this. Watch. Ping, shu. Sit down, okay? I want to get 4 points in here. Sit down, ping, shu, sit down. Right? You need all 4 of those. And this is a perfect example of digitization. I'm digitizing it so that you know the milestones you need to hit as you go along. Once you've got it, once you know the route, you can forget the milestones and just go through the whole thing as one motion. The ping. Let me put a piece of tape on here. Watch the white. Look what's happening with my pelvis. It's rocking. I said, when you're like this, you sit down, like you're sitting down in a bar stool. All right, what you're doing by doing this is transferring that sitting downness from your right hand, the back of your thigh, to your left hand. Now, when you do this, you want to be quite a bit over to the left. Maybe even a little past, not maybe, a little past center. right? Watch my upper body, my hands. Right? They're past center. Now, as you come up, it begins to segue into a shoe circle. Here, it was essentially like a ping circle, right? It's like this. Right? Now it transforms into a shoe circle. Ping, shoe. Now, when Chen Shang did it, it didn't quite look like that. It was much freer, but both pieces were in there. All right? So he's doing a very sophisticated version of this based on his body understanding of movement. But we should try to do it the digital way, because it shows you where you should be going. Right? So Chen Shang did it more like this. Right? It looks much freer. That's true. But he knows about all that stuff, so he's doing it in his energy body. He's doing it in his physical body too. Right? Sync. Ping. Look at my thigh here. Watch that point. Just to the outside of my knee. You see? It's not like this. It's like this. You can see the line in my pants going straight from my butt, from my hui yin, right, at the perineum, straight out to my knee, and it's pushing it outward. It's rolling it outward, not this way, but this way. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to get a little more to the left. Right back where you started. All right? That's the first circle. Here comes the second circle. And this is the hardest thing in the move. Probably spend the rest of the hour working on just this. I guess we'll have to finish it next week. The next circle, you're going to walk through, right in the middle of the circle. All right? That's a little tricky. Sit down. Now, open those toes. All right? Again, you're opening the knee this direction. Again, there's a ping. Ping. If you're really young, there's a ping. Right? That's too deep for me these days. But that's what you're doing. You're blocking. Someone's trying to kick your knee. You block them away. There's two ways you could block them away. You could use just your hand. How good do you think that's going to be? Not very good. He's probably still going to kick your knee because your hand's just not very strong. So instead, it's your body. It's your body that blocks. This is just becomes a part of your body. All right? You notice I grabbed a fist on the other side. Block. Now I've got my arms stretched out. They become like a balance pole. All right? And that helps me walk through. Sit down, go to the left, right? And then walk to the right. Right? Now, technically, that's an uppercut, as I mentioned yesterday. Right? That's an uppercut. So you might be coming right up under somebody's chin. You might just be getting them in the crotch, right? Boom. Maybe in the belly, right? Or maybe all the way up under their chin, right? But the problem now is not that. The problem is, how do you do it and keep your balance and make it look really good? So I'm going to tell you the secrets of timing on this, and then you're just going to have to play with it. You're going to have to do it 1,000 times. And then when you get the internal timing, it'll just happen without any problem. Watch the left hand. Watch this hand. That's it. What did you see about the timing? The left hand, I'm just going to fake it. The left hand goes out and begins to come back in, and that's when you walk forward. All right? You don't go out and then walk forward and then bring the hand in. All right? You bring the hand in and then you walk forward. Now, what is this business here at the end? I'll have Annie. Right? Suppose Andy's pushing on me, right? So this is not the only function for this kind of movement. Like I said, it could be an uppercut, but in this case, it's going to be a little different. So I've brought the hand in, just like this. This one presses down. This one, watch it roll. All right. Now, what you really want to do is catch her elbow. All right. She's not going to let me do it, but that's okay because it's very dangerous. Right? You roll. Now, I have all the leverage. She has no leverage whatsoever. Well, no one else would either in that situation. So what you're doing is trapping. Trap her hand. And you think, well, trapping must mean, no. Think of it as glue, right? You hardly even press. It's just sort of like this. And boom, like this. And if you're just going to roll someone, then you could just roll them like this, right? And then to finish this out, we'll finish it, and then we'll each try it. Right? Relax. This move is named after the final movement, as many of the movements in the form are. Boom. This movement is called Buddha's warrior pounds the mortar. So the whole sequence is named after that. But in fact, that's it, right? Boom, like that. So what are you doing? The first thing you're doing is raking down someone's body with these knuckles. Not the knuckles, not these knuckles back here, but these knuckles here. And you're raking down, maybe right on their nose, their chin, their chest, their dan chen, right? Their groin. You're just getting whatever you can get. All right? Or you can also just think of it as punching somebody in the nose too. All right? And this one is backhand. 1, 2. Now watch this arm. So maybe she's got she's pushing on my body, right? And you notice that turns your body left. And if you just let your right hand swing, it's going to go a little left too.
These are our elbow exercises.
Yeah, those are our elbow exercises that we do every morning, right? Boom, 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 right? Only here it's the feet are side by side. You pull in, that's going to pull your waist to this side. Go over here, bring your hand up, and when you get up above your danchin, maybe up about to your solar plexus, then raise your foot. You never raise your lower body and your upper body at the same time. This seems counterintuitive, but you want to establish your upper body movement before you do your lower body movement. I'll do them at the same time. Watch. Right? Instead, it goes right up, particularly when you're doing it slow, up, and then the leg go. It kind of looks like it's all at the same time, but actually there's a moment of hesitation between
half a beat.
half a beat between upper body and lower body. That just accounts for the distance between the two, right? So 1, 2, very simple. Don't stop down with your weight. No, you'll hurt your foot. You'll break little capillaries in there, and your foot will swell. That's not good, particularly if you do it for years. Right? Instead, you just pop. Right? Particularly don't want to do it on cement. Right? So what are you doing with your foot? You're stamping on somebody else's foot. You turn her arm over so her elbow is exposed, and then you come down on the elbow and the foot. Pop. Thank you. All right. Let's do it together. Let's do the whole move. One more. Good. Rudy. Whole move from here. All right? Should be standing just straight up. Watch my left arm. Watch it right here. Try it again.
I always feel like I'm protecting my knee.
Yes, that's exactly what you're doing. One more. Yes. Good. This is a right-handed form. It's not left-handed, it's right-handed. But that doesn't mean the left hand's not doing anything, right? It's always involved, right, in what we're doing. Boom. Catherine.
Okay.
Yes, good, right. Robin. Good. So 2 comments on what Robin was doing. First, you'll notice that she's barefoot. Lots of folks like to do Tai Chi barefoot, even in China. It allows you to flex your feet much more. Somehow, when you got big clodhoppers like I've got on, your feet just end up being like 6 pounds of liver in each shoe, right? So there's something to be said for being barefoot. However, I trained in Golden Gate Park, which is full of dog doo-doo and other things, and broken glass and bottle caps, etc., etc. So I just got used to wearing shoes. Either way is fine. Oh, Catherine, you've just got bare feet too, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So bare feet are fine. Just make sure. Rudy's one up on everybody. He has foot mittens on, right? It's great to do it that way. Just make sure that your feet don't get too cold, right? Because it steals chi. We're on a cement floor here, so it would not be this time of year. Probably wouldn't be the best to be barefoot in here because it'll literally steal the energy out of your bottom of your feet here. Oh, the second thing I was going to say, and this is really important, guys. This is a habit you must get out of and get into a different one. When you step out, don't land on your toes. Make sure you land on your heel. I think I've explained why, but I'll explain again. Right? When you land on your toes, it means you must be turning the dantian over. You can see that when you move energy from one foot to the other foot, it has to go through the dantian, right? So if you're going up and over, it's going to turn like this. The only problem with that, there are 2 problems. One is, that's a long trip. It's all the way around the ball. It takes a long time. 2, and this is the real critical one, you will pull your own root up out of the ground. Because you're rooted in the ground in this leg, and now you pull it up and out in order to go like this. So it's a bad idea, all right? The opposite way is, instead of turning it over, turn it under. When you turn it under, it's a very short trip, it's very fast, and it actually pushes your root into the ground again. So when you land on the heel, it's very easy to move like that. This is just a habit of motion. In fact, probably 80% of people that I've trained in Tai Chi do exactly what Robin was doing. And who knows, I may have done it when I began too. It's very common. It's you're gonna kind of feel out where you're going with your toes like a cat does, but it doesn't work energetically. So get into the habit of landing on your heel instead. Okay, guys, we're a little over time. All right. If you are going to stay for advanced Tai Chi, give me 15 minutes. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Ciao.